At the beginning of the drama, we are introduced to the adorable female lead, Gushi, an ordinary girl with a big dream. She has completed a fashion designing course, and ever since she was young, she has dreamed of becoming a famous fashion designer one day. One morning, while Gushi is sleeping peacefully, her mother suddenly calls and tells her to come to the family dry cleaning shop immediately. Her mother owns a small dry cleaning business, and whenever she gets into an argument with difficult customers, Gushi is always the one who has to step in and solve the problem. So just like always, she rushes to help her mom. Then we are introduced to our male lead, Fang, the cold-hearted CEO of a huge company. Fang is incredibly rich, but he is also famous for his terrible temper. He expects absolute perfection from everyone working under him. Even the smallest mistake is enough to make him lose his temper and scold his employees without mercy. Meanwhile, Gushi and her best friend decide to take the first step toward achieving their dream. Together, they launch a small online fashion brand, hoping to slowly build a name for themselves. Surprisingly, the very first customer who places an order turns out to be Fang himself. The reason behind this is that Fang is preparing to open a brand new fashion store inside a shopping mall under the brand name Marry Me. Since the new store needs high-quality designer dresses, Fang places an expensive order through Gushi's online shop. When Gushi sees the order, she can hardly believe her eyes. She never imagined that someone would actually buy such an expensive dress from their tiny online store. At first, she even thinks it might be fake, but the moment Fang completes the payment, both Gushi and her friend are completely shocked. They can't believe their first customer has already made such a huge purchase. Then we see Fang back at his office. His assistant walks in and asks, "Boss, did you really place the dress order from that shop?" Fang calmly replies, "Yes, you were the one who gave me the list of stores." The assistant immediately becomes nervous and says, "Actually, that wasn't our approved supplier list. It was the blacklist of stores that we were never supposed to work with." Instead of getting angry, Fang simply says, "That's not a problem. If they're really blacklisted, they probably won't even be able to deliver the dress. So don't worry about it." On the other hand, Gushi becomes completely determined to find the perfect materials for Fang's order. She starts researching everywhere, trying to make sure she can deliver the dress perfectly. After searching for a long time, she finally discovers an important clue. She learns that the chief designer of the Marry Me brand normally lives overseas. However, today he is attending an exclusive party in the city. If she can meet him there, she might be able to get the information and materials she needs for the dress. Without wasting another second, Gushi hurries toward the party. However, on the way there, she gets into a small accident. As she quickly walks over to help the other person, we are introduced to another handsome man named Mo. The moment Mr. Mo sees Gushi, he completely freezes. We soon learn that Mo and Gushi were childhood friends, and ever since they were little, Mo has secretly liked her. He has been searching for her for years. Sadly, Gushi doesn't recognize him at all. She politely apologizes and continues on her way without realizing who he really is. After she leaves, Mo's assistant quietly asks, "Boss, is she really the girl you've been looking for all these years?" Mo smiles and confidently replies, "Yes. It's definitely her." Soon after, Gushi finally arrives at the luxurious party. Coincidentally, Fang is attending the same event because he has an important business meeting there. Unfortunately, Gushi immediately runs into trouble. She suddenly realizes that she accidentally left her invitation card behind, so the security guards refuse to let her enter the party. Just then, Fang arrives at the entrance. The moment Gushi sees him, a clever idea pops into her mind. She secretly follows closely behind Fang and pretends that she came together with him. Since everyone assumes she's his companion, she successfully sneaks inside without anyone stopping her. Even after entering the party, Gushi continues following Fang around. This naturally makes Fang suspicious. Just as he is about to question her, Mr. Alex, the special guest both of them wanted to meet, arrives. Fang points toward him and tells Gushi, "See that man over there? That's Mr. Alex." After saying that, Fang walks away to discuss business with him. Meanwhile, Gushi sees this as the perfect opportunity. She starts chatting with Mr. Alex and manages to impress him with her personality and knowledge about fashion. Everything is going perfectly, and she is just about to bring up the topic of the Marry Me dresses. But before she can say anything, several security guards suddenly approach her. One of them politely says, "Ma'am, may we please see your invitation card?" Since Gushi never had one in the first place, she has nothing to show them. The guards immediately become suspicious and escort her to one side for questioning. Poor Gushi becomes extremely nervous because she has no idea how she's going to get out of this situation. Just then, Fang suddenly walks over. He quietly says, "You're completely trapped now, but I have an idea that can save you." Gushi immediately asks, "What idea?" Fang replies, "For tonight, become my partner. Just do exactly what I tell you." Gushi has no other choice, so she reluctantly agrees. However, Fang's next request completely shocks her. He tells her that she has to pretend to be his girlfriend. Even though she feels extremely embarrassed, Gushi is forced to accept because it's the only way to avoid being thrown out of the party. As they walk back inside together, Fang gently puts a beautiful necklace around Gushi's neck. Then the two of them approach Mr. Alex together. Seeing them side by side, Mr. Alex immediately congratulates them, believing they are a real couple. His attention is quickly drawn toward the elegant necklace around Gushi's neck. He praises it repeatedly because it was originally designed by his late wife, making it incredibly meaningful to him. This was exactly Fang's plan all along. He intentionally chose that necklace because he knew it would touch Mr. Alex emotionally and make it much easier to convince him during their business discussion. Later, music starts playing and everyone begins dancing. While dancing together, Fang and Gushi once again start arguing over small things. Getting annoyed, Gushi decides to leave, but as she turns around, she accidentally trips over her own feet. Seeing her about to fall, Fang instinctively rushes forward to catch her. Unfortunately, he loses his own balance as well. The two of them fall together, and before either of them realizes what is happening, they accidentally kiss. As if that wasn't embarrassing enough, both of them lose their balance completely and fall straight into the swimming pool. After climbing out of the water, Gushi is completely soaked, but instead of asking whether she's hurt, Fang immediately starts checking his expensive necklace. He keeps examining it carefully, making it look like he doesn't care about Gushi at all and is only worried about whether the necklace has been damaged. Watching his reaction, Gushi becomes incredibly annoyed and starts glaring at him. Just then, Mr. Alex walks over toward the two of them. Then, before leaving, both Fang and Gushi tell Mr. Alex that they will meet him again later. Meanwhile, we see Mr. Mo completely lost in his own thoughts. After searching for years, he has finally found the girl he loved as a child. He can't stop thinking about Gushi. On the other hand, Gushi has a hobby that she enjoys whenever she gets free time. She loves reading comic books. There's one comic artist she admires more than anyone else. What she doesn't know is that the author of her favorite comic is actually Mr. Mo himself. Even more surprisingly, the story in the comic is based on the beautiful memories he shared with Gushi during their childhood. Soon, Gushi heads out once again, because she still hasn't given up on getting the special Marry Me dress. She meets Mr. Alex again and politely asks if she can buy the dress from him. Mr. Alex smiles and says, "If you're engaged to Fang, then why don't you simply ask your fiancé for the dress?" Thinking quickly, Gushi replies, "I actually want to surprise Fang. That's why I want to get the dress without telling him." Meanwhile, photos from last night's party suddenly go viral on the internet. Everyone now believes that Gushi is Fang's girlfriend. Unfortunately, those photos are also seen by Gushi's current boyfriend. He immediately calls her and starts yelling at her without even giving her a chance to explain. Wanting to clear up the misunderstanding, Gushi agrees to meet him at a restaurant. However, the moment she arrives, she's left completely speechless. She catches her boyfriend cheating on her with another woman. Realizing that he has been lying to her all this time, Gushi becomes furious. She argues with him and says, "I don't need a boyfriend like you anymore. You don't get to break up with me. I'm the one breaking up with you." After saying those words, she walks away with tears in her eyes. Coincidentally, Fang and one of his friends are also at the same restaurant. From a distance, Fang witnesses everything that happened. In the next scene, we see Gushi trying to forget her heartbreak. She and her best friend go to a bar and start drinking. As fate would have it, Fang and his friend also happen to visit the same bar. Seeing Gushi sitting there drunk, Fang walks over to check on her. But Gushi is so intoxicated that she mistakes Fang for one of her close friends. Without holding anything back, she starts pouring out all the pain in her heart. She tells him about being betrayed, getting cheated on, and how heartbroken she feels. Then she suddenly hugs Fang tightly and begins crying uncontrollably. After crying for so long, she eventually faints in his arms. Meanwhile, Gushi's friend is also completely drunk and passed out on the other side of the bar. Seeing that neither of them is in any condition to go home, Fang has no choice choice but to help. He carefully carries the unconscious Gushi to his car so he can safely take her home. However, the ride home turns into a complete disaster. While still half asleep, Gushi suddenly starts craving chicken wings. Since she is completely drunk, she mistakes Fang for a giant chicken wing. She grabs his face and actually starts kissing him as if she's trying to eat it. After kissing him, she happily says, "This chicken wing isn't spicy at all." The entire drive is filled with Gushi's hilarious drunken behavior, while poor Fang silently endures everything without knowing how to react. The next day, Mr. Mo finally meets Gushi properly. He tells her, "Before I moved overseas, I used to live in Misan." Gushi smiles and replies, "I lived there when I was little too. Maybe we've met before." Mo immediately smiles and says, "Not maybe. We definitely met. We were childhood friends." Then he tells her his full name. The moment Gushi hears it, she finally recognizes him. She becomes incredibly happy after remembering their childhood together. The two old friends happily decide that, just like when they were kids, they'll start learning and practicing art together again. Later, Gushi goes to meet Fang once more. Since Mr. Alex refused to give her the dress directly, she believes Fang is now the only person who can help her get it. However, Fang coldly says, "You'll never get that dress." Confused, Gushi asks why. Fang replies, "That dress will belong to only one person, my future wife, and since I'm never going to marry you, you'll never have any chance of owning it." Hearing such arrogant words makes Gushi furious. She picks up a glass of water, making it look like she's about to throw it at him. But before she can do anything, Fang quickly grabs her wrist. Gushi immediately says, "Don't misunderstand me. I wasn't going to throw the water. I was just picking it up to drink." Then she casually drinks from the glass. A moment later, Fang calmly says, "I drank from that same glass just a few moments ago." Hearing that, Gushi freezes in embarrassment. Without realizing it, they have indirectly shared another kiss. As Gushi quickly tries to leave the room, she once again trips over her own shoes, and just like before, she doesn't fall alone. She crashes straight into Fang, causing both of them to fall together. For a few seconds, they end up staring into each other's eyes, creating another awkward yet romantic moment. Feeling embarrassed, Gushi quickly gets up and leaves. However, just as she walks out of Fang's office, she is seen by Shiran, Fang's childhood friend. Meanwhile, Gushi refuses to give up. She meets Mr. Alex one more time and tells him a touching love story. Pretending to be deeply in love with Fang, she says, "I really love him. I want to surprise him before our wedding, so please let me have that dress." Her emotional acting successfully melts Mr. Alex's heart. Meanwhile, Gushi contacts the customer from her online store who is actually Fang himself. The funniest part is that both of them are trying to buy the exact same dress. Fang wants it for his business, while Gushi wants to buy it first so she can sell it back to Fang. Soon after, Mr. Alex finally agrees to give the dress to Gushi. Excited by the good news, she immediately calls Fang and confidently tells him, "You'll get the marry me dress." Later, Gushi visits Mr. Mo's house because she had promised to teach him drawing. She gives him an apple to use as a reference for sketching, but Mo is so deeply in love with Gushi that instead of looking at the apple, he spends the entire time staring only at her face. Soon, the grand opening ceremony of Fang's new Marry Me store finally begins. Mr. Alex, the famous designer himself, also attends the event. During the ceremony, he proudly announces, "This is the very first dress ever created by the Marry Me brand, and it will belong to only one woman." Everyone waits nervously for the answer. Then he says, "Fang's wife." The announcement leaves everyone in complete shock. Even Fang's own friends have no idea what is happening. His assistant quietly asks, "Sir, what should we do now?" Fang calmly replies, "Just stay quiet." Afterward, Fang goes to meet Gushi. Clearly upset, he angrily asks, "Why did you tell Mr. Alex that you're my fiancé?" Gushi has no answer. She only lied because she desperately wanted the dress. Fang becomes even angrier and starts arguing with her. His harsh words deeply hurt Gushi. Unable to bear it anymore, she leaves in tears. Soon after, Gushi's friend informs her that they now have to return the huge deposit they received for the dress. Gushi is completely devastated because she has no idea how she will ever arrange that much money. At the same time, Fang's assistant reminds him that if they want to keep the Marry Me brand in the shopping mall, They must solve the problem created by this misunderstanding. After thinking for a while, Fang comes up with only one solution. The lie has to become the truth. He meets Gushi once again and says, "Let's continue pretending to be engaged in front of Mr. Alex. Help me keep up this fake relationship." Then he adds, "In return, I'll pay you a large amount of money." With that unexpected proposal, a brand new chapter in Fang and Gushi's relationship is about to begin. Since Gushi desperately needs the money, she finally agrees to Fang's proposal. The next day, the two of them visit Mr. Alex's showroom for a special photo shoot. Since Mr. Alex personally designed the wedding dress for Gushi, he wants the couple to model it together. Soon, Gushi walks out wearing the breathtaking wedding dress. She looks absolutely stunning. The moment Fang sees her, he can't take his eyes off her. Even though he tries to hide his feelings, he's completely mesmerized by her beauty. Mr. Alex is just as impressed. The photo shoot soon begins, and the two of them pose together like a real couple. Every picture looks so natural that even they begin forgetting this relationship is only fake. Watching them together, Mr. Alex smiles warmly and says, "I wish both of you a lifetime of happiness. Congratulations on your future wedding." After finishing the photo shoot, they leave the showroom. Outside, Gushi is standing alone by the roadside. Fang offers to drop her home, but she politely refuses. Feeling slightly offended, Fang simply drives away without saying another word. The next day, Gushi visits Fang's office. With a smile, she says, "I'm really happy to be working with you." Instead of replying, Fang hands her a check. Gushi looks at it and realizes it's worth 1 million. She immediately refuses. "I don't want your money," Fang coldly asks. "Then what do you want? Girls from middle-class families like yours are willing to do anything for money. Isn't 1 million enough for you?" Those cruel words deeply humiliate Gushi. Unable to tolerate the insult, she throws a glass of water at Fang before angrily walking out of the office. Unknown to both of them, someone secretly takes photos of the entire incident from a distance. After Gushi leaves, Fang's assistant asks, "Boss, why did you intentionally hurt her like that?" Fang quietly replies, "I don't want Gushi to ever fall in love with me. That's why I had to make her hate me." A little later, Fang's assistant brings even more shocking news. Mr. Alex has added a new condition. He says he will officially hand over the Marry Me dress only 3 months after Fang and his wife get married. Hearing this, Fang finds himself trapped once again. Without wasting any time, he goes straight to Gushi and bluntly says, "Let's get married." Gushi looks at him in disbelief. "Have you lost your mind? Why would I marry you?" Fang calmly replies, "You needed money, didn't you? Whatever amount you want, I'll pay it." Instead of answering immediately, Gushi asks for some time to think. Later, she discusses everything with her best friend. Her friend is completely shocked. "Do you even realize what you're about to do?" Gushi quietly nods. She knows exactly what she's doing, but becoming a successful fashion designer has always been her biggest dream, and achieving that dream requires a lot of money. Finally, she meets Fang again and agrees to his proposal. The two of them officially sign a marriage contract. The contract clearly lists all the rules they must follow during their 3-month fake marriage. They won't sleep in the same bed, they'll have separate rooms. Neither of them can interfere with the other's personal life, and there are many other rules as well. However, Fang reminds her of one important condition. "Even though we'll have separate rooms, you'll still have to live in my house. Since you've signed the contract, make sure you follow every rule." After that, Fang informs his father about his plan to enter a 3-month contract marriage. His father immediately becomes furious after hearing the truth. However, Fang somehow manages to calm him down by explaining, "I'm only doing this for business." Meanwhile, Gushi returns home with her wedding invitation. Sadly, no one in her family seems particularly interested in her marriage. Just then, Fang's assistants arrive carrying expensive gifts for everyone. The moment they see the luxurious presents, Gushi's entire family becomes extremely happy. Soon, Gushi meets Fang again. Today is their pre-wedding photo shoot. She tries on the wedding gown personally designed by Mr. Alex. The moment Fang sees her in the dress, he is completely captivated. He simply can't stop staring at her. Meanwhile, Fang's close friends are completely confused. None of them understand why someone like Fang would suddenly decide to marry an ordinary girl like Gushi. When they finally ask him the reason, Fang casually answers, "Because I love Gushi. That's why I'm marrying her." His friends are left speechless. Soon afterward, the wedding rings arrive. At the same time, Fang's grandmother comes to meet the couple. His childhood friend, Ran, also arrives. The very first thing Shiran says to Gushi is, "You're stealing Fang away from me." The moment Gushi hears those words, she immediately realizes she has just met the biggest obstacle in her married life. Finally, the wedding ceremony begins. Wearing her beautiful wedding dress and holding a bouquet of flowers, Gushi slowly walks toward Fang. The moment Fang sees her walking down the aisle, he is completely enchanted. She looks more beautiful than he has ever imagined. Soon, the ceremony officially starts. After exchanging their vows, they are declared husband and wife. Then comes their first official kiss. However, Fang secretly places a grape between their lips before kissing her. Because of that little trick, they never actually share a real kiss. Gushi is completely surprised by his strange behavior. After the ceremony, Fang receives a heartfelt letter from Gushi's mother. Among everyone in Gushi's family, her mother is the only one who truly loves and cares about her. Along with the letter, she also gives Fang a credit card as a wedding gift. In the letter, she writes only one request: "Please take good care of my daughter." Meanwhile, Gushi begins celebrating with everyone at the wedding. She keeps drinking glass after glass until she becomes completely drunk. Eventually, she loses all her senses. In her drunken state, she accidentally walks into Fang's bedroom and lies down on his bed. A little later, Fang enters the room. The moment Gushi sees him, she suddenly starts crying. Between her tears, she says, "Everyone gets married because they truly love each other. Their weddings are filled with happiness. But our marriage is completely different. Everything happened because of this contract. My life is being ruined because of you." After saying that, she quietly lies back on the bed. Concerned, Fang walks closer and gently asks, "What happened?" Before he can say anything else, Gushi suddenly hugs him tightly. Within seconds, she falls asleep while holding on to him. Fang ends up in an extremely awkward position. He can't even move because he doesn't want to wake her. Meanwhile, Fang's mother is still in Paris on a business trip. Interestingly, Fang's father hasn't told her yet that their son has already gotten married. Elsewhere, Shiran talks to Fang's best friend. She asks, "Do you know why Fang married Gushi?" His friend simply shakes his head. "I honestly have no idea." On the other hand, Mr. Mo eventually comes across the news of Fang and Gushi's wedding. The moment he sees it, his heart completely sinks. After all, he has loved Gushi since childhood, and now the girl he has been searching for all these years has married someone else. The next morning, Gushi slowly wakes up. As soon as she opens her eyes, she realizes she's lying inside Fang's bedroom. She immediately panics. "Oh no! Nothing happened between us last night, right?" Just then, Fang walks into the room and calmly says, "Relax. Nothing happened. You were just completely drunk and spent the whole night bothering me." After that, Fang gives her a tour of his luxurious mansion. Once he's done showing her around, he reminds her, "From now on, you'll be living here. Follow every rule of our contract." Finally, he shows her a separate dressing room and says, "This will be your room from now on. You'll sleep here." So from that day onward, Gushi starts living in Fang's mansion while sleeping in the dressing room, exactly as their contract requires. The following morning, Fang is changing his clothes inside his room. At that exact moment, Gushi accidentally walks in without knocking. The second she sees Fang half-dressed, she lets out a loud scream. Within moments, both of them find themselves trapped in yet another hilarious and incredibly awkward situation. Later that night, Fang is exercising in his room when Gushi walks in and complains, "I can't keep sleeping on the sofa like this anymore." Fang looks at her and calmly replies, "This is my house. You'll do exactly what I tell you." But Gushi refuses to back down. She stubbornly sits on his bed and says, "I'm not going anywhere." Fang warns her, "Do what I say, or you'll regret it." Before Gushi can react, Fang simply picks her up in his arms and carries her back to the sofa. Poor Gushi has no choice but to stay there. To annoy Fang, she grabs a book and starts reading it out loud like a little child, making as much noise as possible. Earlier, Fang had told her that he suffers from severe insomnia and almost never sleeps at night. Knowing that, Gushi deliberately keeps reading loudly to disturb him. Surprisingly, only a few minutes later, Fang falls asleep. Seeing this, Gushi quietly walks over to him and whispers, "You're such a liar. You told me you couldn't sleep, but look at you. You're sleeping so peacefully." The next morning, Fang wakes up because of his alarm. He sits up in complete shock. "I actually fell asleep?" From his reaction, we realize that Fang really does suffer from insomnia, and this was probably the first peaceful sleep he has had in a long time. For some strange reason, listening to Gushi reading a book helped him fall asleep. Later, Fang arrives at the office much later than usual. His assistant is surprised surprised and asks, "Sir, why are you late today?" Fang casually answers, "I overslept this morning." The assistant is left speechless. "You actually slept last night?" Meanwhile, Gushi visits the headquarters of the company that runs her online store because she's having some problems with her account. However, after meeting the company's CEO, she's shocked to discover that the owner of the company is none other than Mr. Mo. On the other hand, Fang's grandmother asks Shiran to prepare a beautiful customized handbag. It was specially made as a gift for Gushi. Later, Mr. Mo invites Gushi to dinner. During the meal, Gushi opens up to him and tells him about all the difficulties she's been facing lately. After listening carefully, Mr. Mo promises that he'll help her however he can. That evening, when Gushi returns home, Fang's grandmother happily gives her the customized handbag that she specially brought from overseas. Gushi is deeply touched by her kindness. Later that night, Fang unexpectedly asks Gushi to read another book for him. Since her voice helped him sleep the previous night, he wants her to do it again. But this time, Gushi refuses. Instead, she suggests playing a game. The winner will get to make one request, and the loser must obey. Fang agrees. After a short game, Fang surprisingly loses. Gushi immediately smiles and says, "Since I won, I don't have to read any book tonight." According to the rules, Fang has no choice but to accept his defeat. However, a little while later, we see Fang sleeping peacefully once again. The reason is quite funny. The previous night, when Gushi had been reading the book aloud, Fang secretly recorded her voice. Now he's simply listening to that recording to help himself fall asleep. The next day, Gushi visits her mother. Her mother sadly tells her that the landlord is demanding the shop's rent, but she doesn't have enough money to pay it. Worried about her mother, Gushi immediately goes to Fang and asks, "Can you please give me some money in advance?" Unfortunately, Fang refuses to give her even a single penny. Later, while shopping with her best friend, Gushi runs into Shiran. Shiran once again insults Gushi by mocking her clothes, her fashion sense, and even her designing skills. Afterward, Gushi quietly visits a second-hand luxury store where people can either sell or pawn valuable items. Having no other option left, she painfully decides to pawn the expensive handbag that Fang's grandmother had gifted her. She only does it because she desperately needs money to save her mother's shop. A few days later, Fang's grandmother's birthday finally arrives. A grand birthday party is held at the mansion. Shiran and several wealthy women also attend the celebration. One of them asks Gushi, "What gift did you bring for Grandma?" Since she has no money left, Gushi couldn't afford to buy an expensive present. Instead, she carefully prepares a healthy salad after getting permission from Grandma's doctor. The other women immediately start making fun of her simple gift. Just then, Fang steps forward and stands beside his wife. He firmly says, "Gushi is my wife. Whatever she prepares for my family is the best gift." His words immediately silence everyone. However, Shiran isn't ready to give up. She suddenly asks, "By the way, where's the handbag Grandma gave you?" Shiran had secretly seen Gushi pawning the bag earlier. Gushi is left speechless because she doesn't know how to answer. At that exact moment, Grandma arrives and happily asks Gushi to bring the handbag so everyone can see it. Gushi nervously walks toward her room. Fang quietly follows behind her. Once they're alone, Gushi finally tells him the whole truth. She says, "I had no choice. I pawned Grandma's handbag because I needed money to save my mother's shop." Then she quickly adds, "But after pawning it, I had an identical copy made. I still have the duplicate." Fang is shocked. He angrily asks, "Why didn't you tell me earlier?" Then he continues, "My grandmother gave you that bag because she truly loves you. You had no right to play with her feelings like this." After saying that, Fang walks away in frustration. Meanwhile, Gushi decides that she'll tell Grandma the entire truth herself. However, before she can say anything, Fang quietly hands Grandma the duplicate handbag and somehow manages to convince her that it's the original. The situation is temporarily saved. Later, Fang is busy working when Gushi comes to see him. Feeling guilty, she repeatedly apologizes because she knows pawning Grandma's precious gift was wrong. But no matter how many times she says sorry, Fang completely ignores her. His cold attitude deeply hurts Gushi. The following morning, everyone gathers for breakfast. Throughout the entire meal, Fang deliberately avoids talking to Gushi. Seeing this, Gushi finally decides that she should confess everything to Grandma. But just before she can speak, Fang quickly takes his grandmother away and says, "There's no need to bother Grandma with unnecessary things." Even though Fang is still angry, it's clear that he's trying to protect both Gushi and his grandmother from getting hurt, making their complicated relationship even more emotional. Later, Gushi goes to meet Mr. Mo once again. While talking to him, she suddenly asks, "Are you also a fan of the comic series that I always read?" Mr. Mo smiles and replies, Yes, I am. Of course, Gushi still has no idea that the creator of her favorite comic is actually Mr. Mo himself. A little later, Mr. Mo meets Gushi's best friend Xiao. The moment he saw Gushi earlier, he could tell something was bothering her. So he asks Xiao, has something happened to Gushi? However, Xiao doesn't reveal anything and simply changes the subject. Meanwhile, Gushi receives a call from her mother. Excitedly, her mother tells her, the owner of the building has sold the shop to a wealthy businessman. Because of that, I don't have to worry about paying the extra rent anymore. What Gushi doesn't know is that the person who secretly bought the property is actually Fang. He did everything behind the scenes just to help her family without expecting anything in return. Meanwhile, Fang waits quietly, hoping Gushi will come and thank him. However, Gushi misunderstands the situation. She assumes that Mr. Mo was the one who helped her mother, so she immediately rushes to thank him. But Mr. Mo looks confused and says, I didn't do anything. Only then does Gushi realize someone else must have helped her. Meanwhile, Fang is still waiting. Eventually, Gushi arrives carrying a bowl of soup. She simply places it in front of him and starts walking away. Fang immediately calls out, don't you have anything to say to me? Gushi innocently asks, what should I say? Fang gently grabs her wrist and pulls her closer. Looking directly into her eyes, he asks, is there really nothing you want to tell me? Gushi quietly replies, what could I possibly have to say to you? Fang lets go of her hand and says, so, you really have nothing to say? Just as Gushi is about to leave, she suddenly stops. She turns around and softly says, thank you, boss, for helping my family. A small smile appears on Fang's face. Then he asks, I helped your family, so what are you going to do for me? Gushi immediately replies, whatever you want. Just tell me. Fang points at the bowl of soup and says, then feed me. Embarrassed but grateful, Gushi slowly feeds Fang the soup herself. As they sit close to each other, an unexpectedly sweet and romantic atmosphere fills the room. The next morning, Gushi is still sleeping peacefully. She looks incredibly adorable. Fang quietly stands beside her bed and keeps staring at her without blinking. In his heart, he thinks, who exactly are you? Why can't I understand you at all? Just then, Gushi opens her eyes. She catches Fang staring at her and immediately asks, why were you looking at me like that? Without missing a beat, Fang awkwardly replies, what are you talking about? I wasn't looking at you. Then he quickly changes the topic. Later, Gushi meets Mr. Mo again. Seeing the worried expression on her face, he gently asks, are you having any problems? If something is bothering you, you can always tell me. Gushi simply smiles and shakes her head. No, everything is fine, I'm doing well. Meanwhile, Fang is getting ready for work. However, he can't decide which suit to wear. Seeing him standing there, Gushi walks over and picks out an outfit for him. At first, Fang refuses to wear it, but after thinking for a moment, he secretly changes into the exact suit Gushi selected. Later, while meeting Shiran, he's wearing the same outfit. He tells Shiran, train Gushi properly, teach her everything she needs to know. Meanwhile, Gushi receives an unexpected call from her ex-boyfriend. He asks to meet her at a restaurant. When they meet, her ex immediately says, please give me one more chance. Gushi looks at him in disbelief. Are you crazy? I'm already married. Her ex replies, you're only saying that because you're Fang's wife now. Then he continues, listen to me. Fang may have a lot of money, but he's not a good person. Just look at you. You've become so thin. He doesn't even take care of you. Gushi immediately becomes defensive. I'm not thin. There's something wrong with your eyes. Then she proudly continues, who told you Fang doesn't care about me? He loves me very much. Coincidentally, Fang has also come to the same restaurant for another meeting. From nearby, he overhears every single word of their conversation. Gushi keeps praising Fang in front of her ex. She proudly says, every morning he carries me in his arms. He cooks delicious food for me. He even feeds me cake himself. You can't even imagine how much Fang loves me. Hearing all these completely made-up stories, Fang struggles to hold back his laughter. After all, none of those things have ever happened. Finding the situation hilarious, he secretly takes a photo as evidence. Meanwhile, Gushi continues arguing with her ex before finally walking away. Watching her firmly reject her former boyfriend somehow makes Fang feel strangely happy. That night, Fang calls Gushi into his bedroom. He quietly says, I can't sleep again. Please, read a book for me. This time, Gushi agrees without arguing. She starts reading while Fang quietly listens. However, after several minutes, she notices that Fang is still awake. Getting annoyed, she says, you'll fall asleep soon anyway. Meanwhile, I can't sleep properly on that uncomfortable sofa. Fang suddenly looks at her seriously and says, you're my wife and I'm your husband. Then why do you keep meeting your ex-boyfriend? And why do you spend time with Mr. Mo? Do you really think that's appropriate? Gushi is immediately surprised. She asks, wait, are you following me? Then she firmly reminds him, we're only husband and wife because of a contract. You don't have the right to question my personal life. She continues, and why are you saying all this? You're the one who's obsessed with money. You don't even have emotions." Those words leave Fang completely silent. Later that night, he sits alone in his room, thinking about his childhood. He remembers something his mother taught him many years ago. She always said, "In life, emotions are useless. Money is the only thing that truly matters. Never let your feelings control you. Focus only on your work and success." Remembering those words, Fang finally understands why he has spent his entire life suppressing his emotions, even when his heart is slowly beginning to change because of Gushi. Before we continue the story, here's a question for all of you. What do you think is more valuable in life, love and emotions, or money? Be sure to let me know your opinion in the comments. Now let's get back to the drama. Meanwhile, Mr. Mo's assistant informs him that many fans of his comic series want to meet the mysterious author in person. After thinking for a moment, Mr. Mo finally agrees to hold a fan meeting. On the other hand, everyone is having breakfast together at Fang's mansion. While eating, Grandma suddenly looks at Fang and Gushi and asks, "Why were the two of you sleeping in separate rooms last night?" For a second, both of them panic. Thinking quickly, Fang answers, "Our bedroom door lock is broken, so we had to sleep separately." Grandma immediately says, "All right, then I'll have someone fix the lock." Just then, Gushi's phone vibrates. It's another message from her ex-boyfriend asking her to meet him again. Later, Gushi reluctantly goes to meet him. The moment they meet, her ex starts blackmailing her. He says, "I secretly recorded our last meeting at the restaurant. If you don't listen to me, I'll send everything to your husband." Meanwhile, Shi-ran visits Fang. Trying to win his heart, she says, "We grew up together. We've shared so many wonderful memories. It would have been so nice if we could have spent the rest of our lives together." After saying that, she even hugs Fang, but Fang doesn't react at all. His expression remains completely cold. Just then, Fang receives an urgent phone call from Gushi's best friend. She anxiously says, "Gushi is in danger, please hurry and save her." The moment Fang hears that, he immediately rushes out. Meanwhile, Gushi's ex-boyfriend starts forcing himself on her. Terrified, she pushes him away and starts running. Unfortunately, she trips and falls to the ground. Her ex picks up a large rock and is about to attack her. At that exact moment, Fang arrives. Without saying a word, he beats Gushi's ex-boyfriend badly and rescues her. Later, after bringing her safely home, Fang scolds her. "Have you gone crazy? Who goes out alone at night to meet someone like that?" Still upset, Gushi replies, "I can do whatever I want. Why do you care? Why did you even come to save me? Do you have feelings for me?" Fang immediately denies it. "No, nothing like that." Hearing that, Gushi slowly walks closer to him. Then she smiles and says, "If you really don't have feelings for me, then why is your heart beating so fast?" Fang doesn't back away. Instead, he steps even closer and replies, "So, does a fast heartbeat automatically mean I'm in love with you?" As soon as he gets close to her, Gushi suddenly notices that her own heart starts racing as well. She becomes completely flustered. The next morning, Fang unexpectedly walks right up to Gushi. Completely confused, she asks, "What are you doing? Have you lost your mind?" Fang calmly replies, "My mind is perfectly fine." Before she can react, he suddenly lifts her into his arms. Gushi has absolutely no idea what's happening. Fang carries her downstairs and even prepares breakfast for her. To make things even more surprising, he personally feeds her a piece of cake. At that moment, Gushi finally realizes something. Fang must have overheard every word she said to her ex-boyfriend at the restaurant. After all, she had proudly lied that Fang carried her in his arms every morning, cooked for her, and even fed her cake. Now he's recreating every single one of those fake stories. Meanwhile, Mr. Mo finally holds the fan meeting for his comic readers. Since Gushi is one of the biggest fans of that comic, she also attends the event. However, she still doesn't know that Mr. Mo himself is the famous author she admires so much. After meeting him, she happily gets his autograph. Then she shyly asks, "Can I hug you?" Mr. Mo smiles and replies, "Of course." The two of them hug each other. Unfortunately, several reporters are present at the event. They immediately take photos of the hug. A little later, Gushi's best friend calls her and asks, "Have you seen today's news?" Confused, Gushi replies, "No." When she opens the news, she's completely shocked. A photo of her meeting her ex-boyfriend has gone viral online. The headline reads, "Fang's wife secretly meets her ex-boyfriend." As soon as the news spreads, a crowd of reporters surrounds Gushi. They begin asking one uncomfortable question after another. "Did you trap Fang into marrying you?" Before Gushi can answer, Fang suddenly appears. He stands protectively beside her and firmly tells the reporters, "Gushi is my wife. I married her because I love her. We're very happy together." Then he adds, "Please stay away from our private lives." Without giving anyone another chance to ask questions, Fang takes Gushi away. Inside the car, Gushi apologizes. "I'm really sorry for causing all this trouble." Fang gently replies, "You don't have to apologize. I know you didn't do any of this on purpose." Back at home, Gushi is in an incredibly good mood. She can't stop thinking about how she finally met the author of her favorite comic and even got to take a picture with him. While she's happily smiling to herself, Fang suddenly walks into the room. Looking slightly jealous, he says, "You're a married woman now. How can you take pictures like that with another man?" Then he quietly takes the photo from her and walks away. Meanwhile, Gushi meets Mr. Mo again. During their conversation, she excitedly tells him, "I absolutely love the author of that comic." The moment Mr. Mo hears those words, he becomes extremely happy. After all, he is that mysterious author. And since the girl he loves admires his work so much, he can't hide his excitement. Later, Gushi visits Fang's office together with Grandma. She wants to convince Fang to help create a marketing plan for her new fashion brand. Using Grandma's support, she tries her best to persuade him. However, Fang immediately refuses. He says, "Your business is your responsibility. I don't have time for these small projects." Even after repeatedly trying to convince him, Fang refuses to help. Instead of giving up, Gushi decides to create a marketing plan by herself. After working hard on it, she proudly brings it to Fang and asks, "Can you at least check if there's anything wrong with my plan?" But Fang doesn't even bother looking at it. Feeling disappointed, Gushi finally decides to call the one person who has always been willing to help her, Mr. Mo. At the same time, Gushi takes her marketing plan to Mr. Mo and asks for his opinion. After carefully reading everything, Mr. Mo smiles and says, "Your plan is excellent. If you ever have any problems in the future, just come to me. I'll always help you." Those words give Gushi a lot of confidence. Later, while she's busy working, Fang comes over. Still upset with him, Gushi says, "I don't need your help anymore. There are plenty of people willing to help me." Hearing that, Fang becomes confused. He can't understand where Gushi suddenly got so much confidence from, and without realizing it, he starts feeling jealous. Meanwhile, Shiran is interviewing Fang about his company and business. After the interview ends, the two of them return to Fang's house together. As soon as Shiran sees Gushi, she deliberately says, "I confessed my feelings to Fang today." Gushi is caught completely off guard. Not knowing what to say, she simply replies, "That's good." After saying that, Shiran leaves. The moment she walks away, Fang immediately asks, "What kind of wife are you? Another woman just confessed to your husband and you didn't even react." Gushi calmly answers, "I already made everything clear to her." Curious, Fang asks, "What exactly did you tell her?" Gushi smiles and replies, "I told her that I trust my husband completely. No matter how many women try to get close to him, I know he won't pay attention to any of them." Hearing those words, Fang is genuinely impressed. He quietly thinks to himself, "I always thought she was a little foolish, but she's actually much smarter than I expected." Then we see Gushi meeting Mr. Mo once again. Since they're now working together on her new project, they spend more time discussing ideas. One day, Gushi accidentally falls asleep while working on the project. Later, Fang comes into the room. As he checks her project files, he notices Mr. Mo's name written all over them. The moment he sees that, jealousy immediately takes over. The next morning, before leaving to submit her project, Gushi asks Fang for permission to go out. Wanting to tease her, Fang says, "First, go heat some water for my bath." Then he grabs her iPad and walks into the bathroom. Gushi quickly follows him, trying to take it back. During the struggle, the iPad slips from her hands and crashes onto the floor. It breaks completely. Seeing her iPad destroyed, Gushi becomes furious. Later, she meets Mr. Mo again and thanks him for helping with her project. Coincidentally, Fang also arrives there for work. When he sees the two of them together, he immediately asks Mr. Mo, "What are you doing with my wife?" Mr. Mo calmly replies, "Your wife is actually my childhood friend. We even grew up in the same neighborhood." Fang looks at Gushi in surprise. "You never told me Mr. Mo was your childhood friend." Without waiting for an explanation, Fang grabs Gushi and takes her away. Meanwhile, Mr. Mo remembers something Gushi's friend once told him, that Fang and Gushi's marriage is only a contract marriage. Because of that, he quietly thinks, "So, maybe I still have a chance." Soon after, Fang's assistant informs him, "Mr. Alex wants to meet both you and Gushi. You'll have to travel to America." Since Gushi knows almost nothing about American culture or etiquette, Fang brings her several books. He tells her, "Read these books and learn the language and culture." Gushi immediately refuses. I don't want to study all of this. But Fang reminds her, you signed the contract. Since Mr. Alex wants to meet us, we have no choice. We have to impress him. Meanwhile, Mr. Mo asks Gushi to meet him. As they sit together, he gently asks about her marriage. Just as Gushi is about to explain everything, it turns out Fang is in the same restaurant. He is meeting Shiran and asking her to teach Gushi American manners, etiquette, and dancing. At that exact moment, Fang notices Gushi sitting together with Mr. Mo. His jealousy instantly returns. Walking straight over, he grabs Gushi's hand and asks, "What are you doing here?" Then he pulls her aside and says, "I've convinced Shiran to teach you everything, from dancing to proper etiquette. Come with me." Gushi replies, "I still have something important to discuss with Mr. Mo. You go first. I'll come later." But Fang doesn't listen. Instead, he forcefully takes her away. Soon, Shiran begins teaching them ballroom dancing. While demonstrating the dance steps with Fang, Gushi accidentally loses her balance and twists her ankle. She immediately says, "I can't practice anymore. My foot really hurts. I just want to go home." Afterward, Shiran quietly tells Fang, "You've changed a lot compared to before." However, Fang doesn't respond. He simply ignores her and leaves. Watching all this, Shiran becomes even more jealous. Meanwhile, Gushi starts studying very hard. She wants to learn the foreign language properly before traveling to America. Even Fang's grandmother helps teach her a few useful words every day. At the same time, Mr. Mo sends Gushi a message. He tells her that the preparations for the new store she wanted are almost complete. When they meet, they spend some time reminiscing about all the happy memories they shared as children. The next day, Gushi excitedly tells Fang, "I want to launch my own fashion brand. Do you have any objections?" Fang simply replies, "No. You can do whatever you want." Hearing that, Gushi becomes so happy that she suddenly hugs him. For a moment, even Fang is surprised. Later, Fang tells her, "Shiran is organizing a party for us. You'll have to come with me." Gushi agrees but adds one condition. "If we're going together, then I'll personally design the outfit you'll wear." Fang accepts without hesitation. Soon after, Gushi starts taking Fang's body measurements for the suit. Since they have to stand very close to each other, the atmosphere quickly becomes awkward. Then, Gushi accidentally loses her balance and falls directly into Fang's arms once again. The next day, both Fang and Gushi arrive together at Shiran's party. And this time, they are both wearing matching outfits personally designed by Gushi herself. Meanwhile, Shiran invites Fang onto the stage and asks him to say a few words. The guests immediately become curious about the stylish outfit he's wearing. Someone asks, "Mr. Fang, who designed your suit?" Without any hesitation, Fang proudly answers, "It was designed by my wife, Gushi." Not only that, but he also praises her talent in front of everyone. Hearing Fang compliment her so openly, Gushi can't help but smile. She never expected him to appreciate her work like this. Soon, the guests gather around Gushi and start asking about her designs and future plans. Gushi politely replies, "I'm still a new fashion designer, but very soon I'll be launching my own fashion brand." Then we move to the day Fang and Gushi leave for America. While riding in the car after arriving, Fang reminds her, "When we're with Mr. Alex, be careful with your behavior. Don't let him realize that our marriage is only a contract." Gushi nods and says, "Don't worry, I'll be careful." After checking into their hotel, Fang goes into the bathroom. While he's inside, Gushi leaves him a small note and secretly goes out to explore the city by herself. Unfortunately, she gets completely lost. Meanwhile, Fang keeps calling her phone, but her phone battery has already died. Gushi wanders around the unfamiliar streets in panic. She has no idea where she is and becomes more frightened with every passing minute. Just then, Fang suddenly appears in front of her. Relieved but angry, he says, "Have you lost your mind? Do you know how worried I was?" Back in the car, Gushi sincerely apologizes. "I'm sorry. I really didn't do it on purpose." Soon afterward, they finally meet Mr. Alex. Seeing the couple together makes him extremely happy. After chatting for a while, he schedules an important meeting with them for the next day. That night, after returning to the hotel, Gushi becomes so exhausted that she accidentally falls asleep on Fang's shoulder. Instead of waking her up, Fang gently carries her to the bed. Then he quietly sits beside her, staring at her sleeping face for the entire night. Unable to hide his feelings anymore, he softly whispers, "I love you." Sadly, Gushi is already asleep and never hears those words. The next morning, when she opens her eyes, she finds Fang sleeping beside her. Completely shocked, she asks, "What are you doing here?" Fang casually replies, "This is my room. If I don't sleep here, who will?" Then he leans a little closer to her, making Gushi feel extremely flustered. Later, while walking outside the hotel, Gushi notices a wishing fountain. She throws a coin into it and silently wishes that she can successfully open her own fashion store. A moment later, she suddenly realizes she accidentally threw in the special coin her father had given her. Worried, she tells Fang, "My father gave me that coin. I didn't mean to throw it away." Soon, they arrive for their meeting with Mr. Alex. During the discussion, Alex runs into a problem with one of his designs. Gushi politely says, "If you'd like, I can help." Fang immediately tries to stop her. However, Mr. Alex smiles and asks, "You really can?" Gushi confidently answers, "Yes." She begins working on the design right away. Within a short time, she completes it beautifully. Mr. Alex is amazed by her creativity and becomes even more impressed with her talent. Later, while leaving the hotel, Fang and Gushi notice an arcade machine with stuffed toys inside. Gushi excitedly points at one of the dolls and asks, "Can you win that for me?" Fang confidently says, "Of course." He tries several times, but fails every attempt. Then they notice another couple nearby. Before the boyfriend plays, the girl kisses him on the cheek. Right after that, he wins the prize. Seeing this, Fang grins and says, "I think I need a good luck kiss too." Before Gushi can even react, Fang suddenly kisses her. Completely stunned, Gushi just stands there speechless. After that kiss, Fang tries again. This time, he successfully wins the stuffed toy and happily gives it to Gushi. Later, Mr. Alex tells Fang, "I've decided to open my brand in your shopping mall, but I have one condition. My brand ambassador must be Gushi. Only then will he agree." However, Fang immediately refuses the offer. That night, back at the hotel, Gushi notices Fang has developed a high fever. She spends the entire night taking care of him. The next morning, Gushi secretly prepares a small cake. Today is Fang's birthday. Smiling warmly, she says, "Close your eyes, make a wish, and eat your birthday cake." Fang quietly follows her instructions. After making his wish, he starts eating. Gushi immediately complains, "You're eating it all by yourself. I worked so hard to get this cake. Aren't you going to let me have some?" Fang smiles mischievously. "You want some?" The next second, he kisses Gushi. Then he looks into her eyes and asks, "So, how did the cake taste?" Gushi is completely frozen. She never expected Fang to become this romantic. Soon their trip comes to an end and they return home. After coming back, Fang wants to surprise Gushi by introducing her to her favorite comic writer. However, the one who gets surprised is Fang himself, because that famous comic author turns out to be none other than Mr. Mo. The atmosphere immediately becomes tense. Mr. Mo confidently tells Fang, "Your marriage is only a contract, but Gushi truly likes me." This time, Fang doesn't stay silent.